Mom brought a bunch of leather from a purse, and I'm right now taking it apart. Here's Mama. Where you at, Mama?
PLG friends.
Where you at? And Mama.
Hi.
So what I'm doing is continuing to take this apart. I've already done some, and I was like, I should turn on the camera for this. So, but we have another one. Want to hand me that one, Mom? The Dooney. We're gonna rest in peace, this Dooney. So for anybody that ends up with one of our bag flares that has pink in it, it's coming from a Dooney and Burke. But the straps are messed up. It's got a few places. So I will be also doing some footage of how to take this apart. I started a little bit here. You do it with a little seam ripper, but if you get the second layer out, then see, it's got all this stuff inside. You got to get out. You got to get to the leather, baby. So here we go. Okay, so like some of the clasp enclosures I've taken out and I've saved, because you never know when you're gonna put that on something else, right, Mama?
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue to take apart this purse. This has a second layer on it. I think I'm not gonna be able to get this apart until I start cutting the shapes because it's glued. I have tried and tried and tried. I've tried this little tool. Y'all do any leather working? And I can't get in between. So anyway, we'll work on that tomorrow. But tomorrow, Mom's coming over. We are going to be making Valentine's flair for us, for family, and to share with PLG friends. So stay tuned for that because we are going to be posting it. So I pretty much got this one purse taken apart, but she had already started it and gotten a really good start on it. But poor little Dooney, she lived a good life, and we're going to cut her up and make a million beautiful things out of her. So when you're doing this, you want to save all the hardware because each purse has all these individual fun little things here. So you want to save that because you'll use it for another project, for sure. What Mom thought she had but didn't have was a seam ripper. So I had started taking the threads out like this. The more you can preserve of the leather, the more of the leather you have to use for another project. But what I realized when I was taking apart Mom's purse was I ended up cutting all of that anyway. So I think I'm just gonna start surgery. On this girl. Look here. It kind of hurts my feelings to be cutting up this beautiful Dooney, but she's gonna have a new life in many more other homes. She's just the prettiest color I've seen in such a long time, and I have been looking for scrap leather. Got to go to Parisburg to Soulbound Leather, met Sarah out there, and she's wonderful. We're gonna do another video at some point, and I'm gonna interview her, and she's gonna tell you all about her shop and her story and all of the wonderful leather things that she does and how much she has brought the community there in Parisburg together with what she is able to offer for that small community. It's fascinating. She's so nice. And I went earlier this week, and she closes at 5 o'clock on the day that I went, and stayed open an extra 45 minutes just because I was digging through her leather scraps. And she just let me take my time, do my thing. She was doing some other things around the shop, but that really is dedication and commitment to the people that come to your shop and making a new friend. It was really nice. She was really great to talk to. I can't wait to hear more about her story and how she ended up committing her life to leather work. It's not easy. It takes a lot of muscle. I have only been cutting a short amount of time here, and I can tell you right now, I can feel it. My bicep. So, one of the things I want to research on leather work is how on the edge of leather, how you get that smooth kind of waxy feel like that. It just makes it look finished for any project. I love that look. So, okay, so I'm not all the way done cutting around, but when I did that, what you can see is that it starts to make these areas where you can pull apart, and that's what I want to get to, that pull apart, because all of this inside, we don't need that for our purse layer, and that saves a lot of time than having to use a seam ripper, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so I do need to keep going here. Guess what I got on eBay today, y'all? It's a hide on hair. It's a calf, but it was significantly less than if I were to have bought an entire hide. Okay, did y'all see that? The whole inside just came out. So now I'm getting to the good part, the actual leather part. So if I can just get this out, it's gonna be much easier to navigate. And when you're doing this, you need a really good pair of shears. These I thought were Singer, but I don't think they are. When I was growing up, my mom and my grandma used to make curtains for mobile homes, and I grew up learning how to use a sewing machine and smelling the sewing machine oil, learning about a good old Singer sewing machine. Did y'all grow up sewing or watching your family members sew? The other day, Preston helped me get all my purses organized, and in one of my purses, I found $40. I mean, I thought I was doing good finding quarters, but then I found $40. I thought, dang, I must be getting dementia if I forgot I had $40 in a purse. But that was exciting. That's gas money. Gas is so expensive. Almost. We're getting close. See that? Just that much left. Once this is out, that'll be one less thing. Heck yeah. Okay, so that is what the inside of a purse looks like. You know, we do all of our unboxings and we show the inside of a purse. Well, that's the inside and the inside of the inside. So I'm not going to throw that away. There's still some hardware on that thing. Another thing that you could do is turn this inside out at this point, because all of this is not leather. This is just like lining, and you don't need this for your project. Get you a big old trash can, I'll tell you that much. All of this needs to go. Trash. I've never seen the inside of a Dooney. I do know this hurts my feelings, because Dooney and Agner purses were my first fall in loves with leather. I think because my mom always carried that, my aunt, and that's how I found out about Dooney and Burke. See, I love these. I'll be keeping that and put that on another project. So, from taking apart the rest of Mom's purse, I did find out that a lot of what we're going to be doing is using this little gem to cut shapes. And you don't cut shapes on any of the seams anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut these out. You could spend time and use a seam ripper and cut all of these little threads out, but what I found out from Mom's purse, it didn't matter because you ended up cutting out those because the leather has holes in it. Unless you're going to be covering it up with another piece of leather, which sometimes you do, this is just going to save you a little heartache. I could probably be using like an X-Acto knife to do this. My husband uses those all the time for what he does when he installs auto glass. We have tons of them around our house. But when I use these sharp scissors, I feel like I have more control over it. Newsflash, I'm a little bit of a control freak. So, see how that's doing. So, I'll end up cutting out this. This leather did have a little discoloration. It was worn. That's why I didn't feel too bad about taking it apart. She had some scuffs. She lived a good life. And now she's going to transform into a beautiful butterfly. A butterfly of heart flare for some Portland leather bags. So once I get this panel out, going to just take a break and have dinner with my husband because tomorrow Mom and I are going to be making flair all day long. Sometimes you just need a fun day to sit back with your mom and have some good conversation and make some fun projects and memories. And had some kind of yucky weather here, and it's been a little bit of a hard week, so I just wanted to do something fun. I got all my homework caught up, and we are just gonna have a fun day of flair. Even Jaden said he might help, so he may or may not, but I'm just gonna show you a little bit how this one whole sleeve here where the pocket was is going to turn out into a couple panels. I went ahead and cut that seam out. I am not keeping this. I know I am a little bit of a hoarder, but I also know my limitations. So I know when some things got to go in the trash. And I asked Mom, I was like, hey Mom, do you ever use these for anything? She's like, no. And she keeps everything. So if she says she gets rid of it, I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay, so we have that. So then it has another lining. Gonna get rid of it, and then look how furry that is. Feels nice. Don't know if I can pull this or not. We'll see. No, but I don't know if you ever looked inside of the, see that gluey part? I never knew. I've never taken apart a purse before. This is like a tongue twister. I do know that if I can save this piece, it's got stitching. That would be a really cute handle for a flare. And we have all of the tools, everything to poke a hole, put a grommet, and that could even be the flare. And then you put your O-ring on that piece. So I'm gonna save that. You know, some of these other pieces I haven't saved because they were not worthy. Do you remember Wayne's World? We're not worthy. Okay. So I'm gonna save that and maybe make a little handle. And see some other stuff I shouldn't have kept, which I did. So I'm just cutting out these seams because you don't use the seams in your flare unless you're making it, because we have all the tools where we could actually make holes. This is what the back side looks like. That is another piece. So now we successfully have 2 pieces for our fun shenanigans tomorrow. I cannot wait to make flares. It's gonna be so much fun. Mom is so excited. You know, I'm looking at this red and I'm like, maybe I should be saving this red, but Mom also brought a bunch of other just red material, so I might not end up keeping that. I am going to save these handles. I just had a brilliant idea. I might keep them all together because they already have the ring and the leather attached beautifully. Okay, see that? And I can do something else with it. I might want to do a mod on one of my own bags, and then I will have this. I might want to add it to something else that we're creating. So you can keep all of that. So awesome. So it's got a little pink on there. I'm gonna get rid of that. Voila. But see, one of the reasons why I didn't feel so bad about doing this purse is because this strap was kind of not that great. Some of that side stuff was coming off of it, but I mean, I'm gonna keep this. Could definitely make something else with this. So I'm gonna sit here while I'm with my husband and take apart this purse. And this one, guess what this is? It's a Michael Kors. So anybody getting this kind of black, it's coming off of this beauty. She's lived a good life too, but we're gonna go ahead and repurpose her into flare. And then I have gotten this one. Oh, there's another one in here. I'm gonna take apart this green. And then this one says Just Steve. Not quite sure, never heard of it, but it is leather. So here we go. That's what I had mentioned during my video. I said it'd be easy with the razor blade, and then I said that you do here in my hand, you a pocketbook. You want to do one?
No.